What do Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman all have in common? Why? They were part of the Kliq. And we're going to take a look at the DVD on this review, powered by Google Hangouts. Prepare to work.
This is Sean Crow, watching WGS-TV.
Greetings, everyone. You have worked your way in from the tubes of you into another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/Wrestlegamer. I am the Wrestlegamer, Dolby Boudreaux. Today is August 26th, 2015. A couple of things I want to make mention before we get to the DVD review. A couple of things I need to say. Earlier today, we attempted, me and Lance, Mick37, we attempted to live stream some Quiplash, and then we tried to live stream some Live Swatter. And I think probably for future references, I'll have it scheduled on here for you guys. So that way, if you ever want to join in, you're more than welcome to. However, today's stream got blocked for the oddest reasons. Because apparently Playboy decided that, hey, you had one instance in your stream where you had the word Playboy. Even though you had no pictures, you didn't have our logo, and you didn't have any other references except one word in a different style of text saying Playboy. So guess what? We're going to block your entire stream. And guess what? That's what happened. So thanks to Playboy, even though we did enjoy the time we had, you guys are not going to be able to see it because of Playboy being a dick. You wouldn't expect that. Second thing I want to mention, if you guys checked out the Raw review, by the way, a little card right here will probably pop up for you guys to see. When you check it out, there are a couple of new things that I add, a couple of incentives for you guys, especially to comment. Starting this week, the comment on each one of the reviews, like in particular the Raw review, the comment that has the most likes on them will be officially recognized as the official comment of the week on the next week's review. Like with the Raw review, the comment that has the most likes on that video will be officially recognized as the Raw comment of the week on next week's Raw review, and so on and so forth when it pertains to NXT and SmackDown. So now that I've gotten those, oh, by the way, there are timestamps now in the description box of the reviews, so that way if there's a particular part of the show that you want to hear our opinion on, but you don't know where it is, and you don't want to have to listen to the entire review, then I have a timestamp on each segment and match, especially on the Raw review, for you guys to check out. So that way, if there's like a certain point in the show that you only want to hear our opinion on, you can click directly on that timestamp, and it'll take you right to it. Now, on to the review. First off, I want to make note of the actual DVD in itself. It's some pretty good artwork, and of course they put it on the back as the band is back together, and it's very interesting. It's the Hall of Fame pictures. I believe this is when Kevin Nash got inducted. I think it's even, yeah, I think it might have been Kevin Nash. And then you open up, and of course you got you got everything right here. But these are what the disc looks like. You know, these are the 3 discs. The documentary in itself was fairly short, but interesting to say the least. A lot of references as to how they met and how they kind of bonded. And, you know, apparently the Kliq wasn't the only backstage group that was there. There was a group, I believe, with Undertaker, Rikishi, Fatu. I'm trying to remember who else was in it, but it was called the BSK, or the Bone Street Crew, if I'm not mistaken. But they weren't as prevalent as the Kliq was, especially with everything that went on. And you know, this was a more influential group backstage than a lot of people know. Now, I think one of the main reasons that they know it is because of a lot of negative things that have happened. Especially you guys remember that infamous live event from Madison Square Garden. First of all, in 1996, how did the WWE get this footage from this guy if this guy wasn't working for WWE. Apparently, they put him in the documentary. They say he's a fan. And this is before internet dirt sheets and stuff like that. So I would like to know, how did they know about this footage, that this guy recorded it? And secondly, how did they get it? Because this is before internet times. This is like 1996, I believe it happened. And this was like way before YouTube. I mean, a long time before YouTube. So how did they get this footage? And how much money did they actually have to cough up for it? Now, I got to say, as far as matches go, the documentary wasn't too much to talk about. Because like I said, it really wasn't very long. The matches, all of the matches on the set were, of course, heavily influenced around the Kliq. And I got to say, I really liked a lot of them. I'm glad they put the ladder match from WrestleMania 10, March 20th, 1994, the Intercontinental Championship, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. I really enjoyed that. They also put the bad guys versus the Teamsters from Survivor Series 1994. Shawn Michaels and Diesel, In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies, April 28, 1996. I think this is the first time they actually worked a match was on Monday Night Raw, May 13th, 1996, Shawn Michaels versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And right here, they reference it in here. You even see it. A lot of the stuff they had to censor because, again, they were out in the crowd. But the Madison Square Garden curtain call from May 19th, 1996. Again, I asked the question, is how did WWE even know about the footage? And two, how much money did they have to pay for it? Because there ain't no way that this guy who's supposed to be a fan coughed this footage up willingly. There are only two ways that this could have happened. That either A, or one, since I'm holding up one finger, the guy was a plant in the crowd, and I guess he was just filming stuff to for WWE just to do it. Or two, that this guy actually demanded a lot of money for that footage, and WWE complied and gave him the money. And not only that, they gave him a spot on this DVD. I really don't know what else to say about this, guys and gals. But like I said, there were a lot of stuff in here. And then the final match was actually a match from 2009 they have on here from TLC, the Tag Team Championship match, TLC ladder match, D-Generation X versus Jericho. But I got to say, this was... like I said, a lot of the matches were more focused on the members of the Kliq. If you guys could see right here, and various forms, But I got to say, overall, this was a decent DVD. Like I said, the documentary really didn't reveal too much about the Kliq that we didn't already know. About them being a band of friends backstage who always stuck up for each other. And so on and so forth. So it really didn't reveal too much, in my personal opinion, when it pertains to, if you bought this trying to, hoping that you were going to get some darker side or more inside stuff when it pertains to the Kliq, in particular, these five guys, then, like I said, they pretty much just reiterated a lot of the stuff that we already know about the Kliq. That we know about some of the backstage goings on when it pertains to when they were all in, in one time WWE or WWF rather, than WCW with the NWO, the Wolfpack, and of course D-Generation X, and so on and so forth. So like I said, they did tell a couple of road stories that were fairly interesting, and how they got together, and whatnot. But like I said, beyond that, beyond the scope of, their beginning and how they became friends, and some of the and a couple of road stories that they told on this DVD set, it's basically, you're just buying this for a compilation of matches featuring these 5 guys. Not all at the same time, but a lot of the stuff from classic World Wrestling Federation and WCW, and the latter part of WWE in the 2000s, before WWE started to kind of. But anyway, like I said, overall, this was an interesting DVD. But like I said, they're basically, it's basically, you know, it's already telling us something that we already know about the Kliq, as far as the documentary is concerned. And I do like the inside of the case, Too Sweet for Life, kind of a combination of all the and another thing is they also explain the origins of the little NWO. Apparently, according to them in the DVD, that this was like the symbol for Turkish mafia or something to that extent. I'm not even sure why they decided to adopt it, but they did, and it caught on with the fans, and that's why they ran with it. You know, if you come up with a gimmick that's over with the fans, 9 times out of 10, you're going to use it. But like I said, the documentary could have been a little bit more interesting for what it was. But, you know, could have found out a little bit more about the story of these guys. But they basically just rehashed about, I want to say 90% of what we already know about them, about the Kliq. So my overall score, I normally give these DVDs a 4 out of 5. And I'm being generous with this one because this was a birthday present this year that was given to me. So I'm going to be a little generous and give it a 3.75 out of 5. What I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts about the Kliq Rules DVD. If you had the opportunity to watch it, I want to know what you think. Don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself, then get back to me. And that way we can compare opinions about the Kliq DVD. I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. The links will be in the description box below. Also, don't forget, for some reason today, YouTube Gaming launched today. I think it's gaming.youtube.com. I took a look at it, and I'm still not quite sure how this could benefit WGS-TV, but I'll be sure to look more into it. Also, don't forget, I'll have 2 videos in the annotations at the end of this video for you guys to check out as well. So, with that being said, I am the Wrestlegamer. Don't be Joe saying we'll see you at the next Warp Zone. It's not going to be a pretty sight, guys.
He's been in many, many competitions, even the Arnold Schwarzenegger Strongman competition. So he's won many, many awards. Again, this is another subject we talked about last